I like the way Ferris played. I really do. It was a good game for us. I told you on media day that the one negative with this team is they got a lot of shooters. And what are shooters notorious for? Not guarding anybody. And they lived up to it tonight. We just did not guard and gave up too many threes. We probably played better than I think. I didn't think Valentine coming off a big game was as sharp, and I thought Forbes and my man Aaron Harris has got to learn to guard somebody. And so I'm putting that out there. I thought Schilling was really good. I thought Matt McQuaid played very well. Tom was okay. But we didn't play with the energy. And that's part of the culture change I'm trying to do, Let's make every game where we're going to play it and play the game, not the team. And today we failed a little bit. But part of that was due to how well I thought Ferris played at times. Poor Didi couldn't get going. We just did some things that weren't. Every time we got a run going, we gave up 3 threes. And it's not like they shot a high percentage, but making 10 threes, and we knew that's all they were going to do. On the other side of it, that post player they got is really good, Stolichter. And we did a heck of a job on him, I thought. And we did it, we didn't out-rebound them by a lot, but this is a team that had 21 offensive rebounds against Central. So there were a few bright spots, but guarding is going to have to change if we're going to become a real good team. Questions?
Tom, 2 questions. First, Tom at one point turned and acted like a senior, and he just got in Aaron's grill about defense. Is that something for you to see a true sophomore like that, especially when it comes to defense doing? Is that how exciting is it for you?
It is, and that's what I told Denzel, to be a leader. I mean, I love Mark D'Antonio's theory. Your seniors got to be good, and to be a leader, there's going to be pressure on you. And I wanted to see how different guys would respond, and Zell was so good, and he's been so good in practice, and he was okay today. I mean, I'm complaining about him. He had 15, 7, and 7. But you know what? He should have that and more. Very casual with the ball. We had 4 or 5 turnovers he had, and he's got to improve that if he's going to become the player that I know he can become. So tonight it was Tom's turn to get after a few people, and that's good. Denzel's got to do a little bit more of that. It's a little harder, Those 2 guys that I didn't think guarded anybody are his roommates. And so I got to figure out a couple of my former players that didn't matter if they were their best friends or not. They got a job to do, and you got to do your job. So.
And could you comment about McQuaid's passing? A couple of passes he had in there you got quite excited about.
McQuaid's been playing well. I think it was Carlton Valentine that called me the other day and said, I just love that kid. He understands the game. He's not a quick shooter yet, so when he tried to shoot quick, he struggled, but he really can shoot the ball. He's just not, he's got to figure out when he's open, when he's not, and he can drive. He's a very good athlete, and he understands the game. He understands angles. He did a decent job defensively for a freshman. And we played Kenny, for the first time, and he made some defensive mistakes, but his athleticism, I think, will really help us at the 4. And we still messed up our lineup a little bit, but this time we did it more because guys weren't playing good compared to just experimenting. And that's what practice is for.
Did you think Aaron did anything better within the flow of the offense tonight than?
Yeah, I thought he the shots he took, and he missed some wide open shots where, he had his, the last game he must have taken. If it was 5 threes, he took every one of them from 3 feet beyond the 3-point line. And, we worked hard on him stepping up, and he did that tonight. So he did a better job of that. He did a better job of moving the ball. But it's not Iowa's girls basketball of 30 years ago. You got to play both ends. So I'm just disappointed because he's an athlete. He's tough. And he's going to be working on it.
Tom, Gavin had 12 points and 5 boards in 13 minutes on the floor, just a really efficient performance from him. So how much do you think that might affect his playing time going forward, and were you surprised to see him be so efficient?
Well, I would have played him more. He stubbed his toe a little bit, and hurt his toe. But in the last game, he got in foul trouble. So both games, he's played 13 and 12 minutes or something. But staying out of foul trouble is something those bigs have to do. And I think Gavin's been very efficient. He rebounded pretty well. He ran the court pretty well. He made a couple great moves in there. So he's playing better. He's been one of the bright spots from Italy till now.
Tom, you said at the outset that there would be competition, room for guys to move up or move down. Any significant moves that you maybe didn't expect from the start of practice?
Well, there'll be some moves. The playing group's going to shrink a little bit, determined by the players, not by the coach. And that's what these games are for, and that's what the next couple practices are going to be for, And, we did some experimenting. I got stats from a lot of teams all over the country. A lot of them played 7, 8 people. And, we gave our guys a chance to see who'd move up and who'd move down, and that's going to be rotating a little bit throughout the year. But we'll start homing in now on our playing group a little bit more. And I don't know, Matt warned me that I better check the film before I speak because I wasn't real happy with – I was disappointed in Zell because he's been so good. And I want to see him get to the point where every day he's laser focused. He was very casual on some things, and he knows it, so I'm not worried about it. But that kind of led the rest of our team. As the head goes, the body follows, and he knows it, so he'll do better.
Coach, on the offensive end, you shot better than 60% for a lot of the game. You had a 3-to-1 assist-to-turnover ratio, running like you like to do. What did you like about what you saw, moving the ball, making the extra pass, getting the open guy?
There was some of that. There really was. Early on, I thought we did a great job of that. And then, with a couple of big plays that I really kind of turned it for me. A fast break when Brent had the ball and Zell's wide open for a dunk. And he doesn't pass it, and those things drive me crazy because I think being unselfish is the way I'd like to have this team play. But there were some positives. 29 assists on 35 baskets is good. We just missed some wide open shots. But I thought, part of the things defensively was we had to play against a 4-guard offense a lot. And they got some guys that can shoot it. And they made some shots now. I did like his team. And I think if he gets everybody back, he had a kid sitting out. The Fleming kid played real well. I really liked Cushenberry. There's a couple guys in that team I really like. I thought we did a real good job on their big guy, as I said earlier, and that was a big key for us.
Tom, we've talked a lot about Tom working on his shot all summer long, but it seems to me when he's driving, he's looking to attack the basket a little bit more now, and he's finding that right time to go at the basket as well.
I think that's a good way to put it. He was solid. It wasn't great, but solid, and he can run our team. And what he doesn't get enough credit for is when he's in the game, people aren't getting wide open threes, and that's why he played last year, and that's why he's going to play more this year because you got to be able to guard somebody, and so it'll be fun. It'll be a fun couple days of practice, and we'll see if we can get a little better here in that area. It wasn't awful. I'm just expecting more out of this team. I think we have enough veterans and we have senior leadership, and they should expect a little more out of it. With a long season, I'm not trying to win a game in November, but I am trying to set a way of playing now that we get a little hungrier and figure out when we get a lead how to step on somebody instead of letting them off the hook. And what did they cut it down to? 12, 11, 13, something like that. I didn't appreciate that from our standpoint, but I applauded it from their standpoint. I thought they did a very good job on that. That's what I just told his team.
Tom, did D.D. get Anagagne's record for the fastest first 2 fouls, and what did you tell him?
Yeah, the only problem is at least when Anagagne got him, he maimed the other guy. Didi didn't even hurt the guy. It was, Anagagne. That guy never shot the rest of the night. So even though he was out, his guy was wounded. But as a freshman mistakes, couple close calls. There's going to be some closer calls. check that record. It was pretty close, though. It was pretty close. 26 seconds. Let's anoint him as the new leader in the Izzo era. So let me UP math. That's 45 seconds. He had 3 fouls. That probably topped Anaganya. Anything else, guys? Well, I really liked the way he's played, and he missed a couple of those shots inside. You can still see where he's just not strong enough. Upper body, his lower body's fine, but he also made some good moves, and he's going to be a hell of a player. We just got to try to, tonight was a night I wanted to get him some time. That's why I wanted to start him the second half, and I did. In the 2 preseason games, I played every lineup I wanted to play, and now we'll evaluate the plus minus. We'll see who fit in with who. I mean, it didn't work out like I wanted to tonight totally, but it did work out like I wanted it to be because I got out of it what I put into it. It wasn't to necessarily win games by 20, 30, or 40. It was, so I could see different groups of guys playing together and who played when things didn't go right and who rallied the troops and just different things like that. And it was really good. Both these games were good for us. I do think Ferris has a chance to, they're going to be a good team in that league. I think a real good team in that league. And so I'll, like I always do, pull for my Division II teams. Thanks, guys. I'll see you Friday night.